Welcome to another example of taking Splunk Corelight data and getting it getting the data SIM compliant. I have previous videos, I reference them below. My personal preference is to use a product called Cribble, C-R-I-B-L. It is amazing. A lot of things that drive me nuts about putting the stuff in Splunk, it didn't when I didn't have Cribble. What I didn't know about the other options, this was just fine. It was great. I had no problem with it. But once I saw the amazing tool that is Cribble. I don't like using Splunk to do this, but I've received enough comments down below. Can you please show it? We don't have Cribble. So I reference you to look down below. This can be done so much quicker, so much faster, and the troubleshooting is so much easier if you use Cribble. But we will do it the hard way. But for those who do want to see about Cribble, I've got it right here, C-R-I-B-L Cribble. It's a great product. It doesn't require restarts. It doesn't require config files to be modified, which makes Splunk have to take a while to push all this stuff over. None of that needs to happen. You actually see the data on they call it in stream. The data is coming across the wire. You make your changes to it. It'll actually show you this what it looked like before you applied your changes, and here's what it looks afterwards. I've got a video on it. Watch it. It'll change your life. I promise you, if you can use Cribble, your life will change. But for those who can't, we move on. So we're going to talk about, I'm not going to cover nearly as much detail as I did before because I've already done it in previous videos. We're going to now make our data model for web. And so there could be lots of places you might have. You might have a proxy, you might have like Blue Coat or something like that. And in my case, I'm using Corelight, and Corelight is parsing the network traffic and the HTTP traffic. So let's go look at that. If I go and do an index equals Corelight, source type equals Corelight HTTP, I do a head 100 on them. I get back my fields, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get the web. And so I'm going to look at these and say, what of these fields are important to me? Do I have a bytes in and bytes out field? If I go look through the raw fields, and it does not look like you got a body length. That's the closest thing we do, every response body length and a request body length. I can choose if I want to use that. For this case, sure, let's do it. I don't have the app, and I don't know what I would have for app, so we're going to leave that alone. Action taken by the server or proxy. That's going to be, we should be getting that down below, which is your, let's see, we're going to have that as refer. So shouldn't there be something with it? 400s. Method, content type, refer, response time, status. Yep, so there's the response code. I could look at these response codes, so that's how we'll have to do the action. We'll have to build the action ourselves, much like we did in the last video. So I'm going to do bytes in, bytes out, just like I did before. Maybe I'll do a HTTP refer and a method in here and do a status. Okay, so let's write those down. We come over here and we're going to do the exact same query. Index equals Corelight, source type equals Corelight con, head 100, and then I'm going to go table, and that was, I wanted action app bytes in, bytes out. Action app bytes in, bytes out. I think I just have bytes as, yep, just normal bytes. And we're going to do HTTP method and status. So we come down here, there's a status. All right, so which ones do we got? Which ones do we not? Interestingly enough, we do have a bytes in and bytes out. That must have been handled. Oh, it's because I'm using Corelight Con. That was just handled in my last video, Corelight Http. All right, and as I was afraid of, we have none of these fields. The data doesn't use any of that. So how do we fix that? Well, we're going to come down and we're going to do an eval. And what's my bytes in? We're going to use the requested body length, the response. So bytes in, bytes out. This will be your response. This will be your, so we're going to go response body length. Control C equals bytes in. Should have them both now. And I am definitely late. It's late at night. I'm going body length. Response body length. Now remove this part. That. Cool. We got bytes in and bytes out. And I don't like how that's working. We'll have to deal with that another time. I mean, I can remove this, but that's annoying that it's decided that it's going to double them up. So let's go. We need to get the bytes. Val bytes equals bytes. Nope, we learned our lesson last time. We got to use the request body length plus. If you do it the other way, they haven't been created yet. It works here, it just doesn't work for. What are we going to do about that doubling up? MVD dupe. Eval bytes in equals. Dedupe. Does that work? At least for the display. Equals. There, that got rid of that. So if we do this, MV dedupe and MV dedupe, it's not annoying at all. Get rid of that. This won't work when we do our aliases, but we'll just do the, there's a way around that. We'll we'll fix it and then let it be taken care of there. I'll show that, make sure I call it out when we do it. All right, the dedupe thing is gone. Bytes is doing its math right now, so that'll work. I'm curious, can I do this? You know, live video recording is probably not the time to do it, but I don't care. MV dedupe. I'm just going to do comment this out and comment that out. Just make it Hmm. Request body length. Yeah, seems like you can't make the math work that route. Maybe if I played around with it, I could, but for now, I'm okay with this method. All right, so bytes in, bytes out. Again, what a pain, but it is what it is. So we now move on. Now we're going to go to refer. Okay, let's just get the method first. That's HTTP method. And what's it called? It's just called method. So I'm going to have to do it. That'll be easy enough. Eval method equals HTTP method equals method. Now I should have a method. It's also multi-value dedupe. Okay, and we need a status. And the status is status code. There we go. That's taken care of. And now the app. There is no app. This would be your blue coat, your proxy, whatever. I think that's what I'm going to call it. And so I'm just going to call it Corelight. And then the last one, eval action equals case. Anything that's case. So if status is greater than equal to 200, and status is less than 300, think this will work. We will find out. Then the value would be allowed. 1 equals 1. Blocked. That's not really the case. All right, that was dumb. That was this is programming 101. This is not a variable, it's a string. So put it in quotes. There we go. Now I've got my actions. I should definitely spend a lot more in here, like what are 400 codes, what are 300 codes, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of work that can be involved in doing this. I am going to just stay with this. This is good enough for me for now to give the demo purposes of it. And so now we've got these fields. I'm not going to go through every web field. I hope I gave enough use cases here to get the concept. So let's go get this added. So I'm going to add it a new tab to the right, duplicate, and I already have an app. I did it in the last time, and it's called YouTube Data Models. That keeps track of all my stuff in the same place. I'm going to come hit Fields, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do calculated fields. And we're going to do calculated field. We're going to put in the L.A.M.E YouTube Data Models, Corelight HTTP. We'll see if this works. Okay. This is where it's going to take care of my MVs. So we're going to do a bytes in. and it equals mv dedupe request body length. So if I do that, mv dedupe, save. Let's go put bytes out as well. Corelight HTTP bytes out. Dupe response. One more. That's our bytes filled. That one's the math. Hopefully this works. Source Corelight. Okay, Corelight HTTP, and this will be bytes. And this is we'll see how that works. There may be some order of operations issues that could cause some problems there. Let's go get our YouTube apps line together and get them all their permissions set. So we've got three sets, the three things that I created, they're all got private permissions, so we're going to need to change that. All apps, read, write. Next one, all apps, read, write. Next one, all apps, read, write. Okay, now we're going to go do some aliasing. Fields, field aliases, field alias, YouTube, and this will be Corelight HTTP to web. Corelight HTTP, our field aliases, got to remember to do them in the right order. It's the opposite way it looks. So ooh, that's not gonna work. Do I have any? This is my, no, none of these are aliases because that MV dedupe. So I don't actually have any of these. Let's go see how they're coming along. All right, we'll go grab this table here. Remember, it takes quite a while to propagate through. So even if I don't get these fields back, it doesn't mean I did it wrong. Nothing. All right. Let's go do settings, fields, extractions, not field extractions, settings, fields. This will definitely be the last video I do tonight. I am getting tired. Calculated fields. And we're going to do a new calculated field. Do one that's simple as can be. Corelight HTTP. And this will be HTTP refer. All right, not refer. HTTP method. And it is mv dedupe method, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, hit save. What are these things? Get his permission set. Save. Now we're going to put the nice case statement in there. Corelight Http. One there. This will be next one. And then action up here. Get everything else out. Save. Rewrite. Another calculated field. Corelight HTTP. And that is app equals Corelight. That should be all I have to do. Yep. We'll need a status as well. Okay. Save. Let's just do the status. All right. MVD dupe status code. Get these fixed here. Permissions. Can't count how many times I've done this and forgot to change the permissions and couldn't figure out why it didn't work. Or it'll work for me and then I show it to someone else and it doesn't work because they don't have the same permissions. Read write. All right, that's propagated. I don't expect all of them over here, but let's see how many of them started to fill. Okay. Bytes in, bytes out. Bytes didn't like that. Okay, I'm not surprised. That stinks. Bytes might be very difficult to solve. Status should be coming around soon. App, and these aren't really that big a deal. They'll just come with time. So we'll run it just a second. Maybe I get them. Yep, see app filled in, status filled in. Action will be on its way in just a minute. It was the very last one I wrote in pretty much. Well, let's see, let's go look at that bytes and see if I can do something with that bytes. Bytes. Yeah, see, the problem is when they come in to be done. I don't think there's much I can do about bytes at this time. But at least we have bytes in and bytes out. Okay. And action hopefully is action. What does it not like about my action? Well, that would be the order as well. There is no status, it's status code. Have I mentioned I like Cribble? I don't have to worry about when they come in, I just fix them right there. There, status code. It's got to be the status code because that's the raw log it's looking at. It can't be looking at an alias because the alias doesn't exist at this moment. And so it's like, which do you work on? And this works, but the bytes, that's just going to be something I don't know how to fix at this moment. Again, if I was in Cribble, I'm just going to flat out change the thing right off, remove those fields, and then as it just goes down the pipe, it'll take care of itself because it's got an order of precedence saying do this to the data, then do this to the data, then do this to the data. Here, it all just kind of occurs in a haphazard format. I'm wondering if I actually went into the props and I reordered the way it's doing it, would that fix it? That's a possibility. But again, what a pain. It is what it is though. All right. Should have an action. Not yet. Well, action will eventually show up. Just got to give enough time. But I'm not going to make you guys sit around for the length of this video. Uh, that's the principle. It's just got to propagate through memory, and then it will come. Anyway, I hope this helps you move from being a L.A.M.E analyst to a Splunk ninja. I'm going to have more videos. Keep following the videos below. We're going to discuss now how to get these actually. We've got the right fields, but now let's get them tied into the data model. Hope you'll keep watching. Have a good night.